Hi everyone, I'm Tami Utley, and today I'm going to be doing a Sweet 16 or Quinceañera cake. It's a very tall cake, wedding style cake for a young lady. I want to show you all the things we're going to be using today. Obviously we're going to need some fondant, some type of frosting, and I'm going to use fondant. I've already dyed some of this pink. You can see I've dyed it pink. Obviously you can use any color you want. I'm going to make some royal icing, so I have some powdered sugar and some meringue powder because we're going to need royal icing in addition to the fondant. I have my pizza cutter and my spatula. I'm going to need a ruler. I need a parchment bag. I'm also going to need a very small cake decorating tip. This happens to be a PME tip, which I use when I do really fine piping work. This is a number 1. You can use a regular tip if you'd like. I just prefer this because it is a seamless tip. There is no seam, so it's easier to pipe with. I get less frustrated with it, but you certainly can use any tip you like, number 1 or 0. You can use store-bought pearls, or you can make your own. I have a pretty lace that I'm going to use here for the crown on this cake. And then I've got a large flower former here. Any curved surface will do, though. If you got anything that's curved gently, you can just cut like a paper towel, roll in half or something. And then I have a couple stencils here. This stencil I've used many times. I get both of these from Michael's. This one comes in a pack of 2. And then any kind of rose stencil, or really any decorative stencil you want, this is going to go on one of the tiers of the cake. I have some cake tips here. You don't have to have these kind of cutters. You can actually use the center of a cake tip to cut a hole. And I'm going to show you how to use these. And this is a little plunger cutter. This is a neat little gem cutter. It's just a heart shape, but you can use any mold or cutter you desire. This just happens to be a heart one. I'm going to need some cornstarch, some brushes, and then I also like tone on tone, and so I'm using an Orchid pink luster dust because it's just a little bit darker than this color pink fondant I'm using. So when I use the stencils and the luster dust together, it shows up very nicely. I also am going to use a little bit of Tylose powder. I'm going to mix it in my fondant when I do the pleating on this cake to make it a little stiffer. I have just a little plastic dowel. If you have a rolling pin, you can use that. A pasta machine. This is optional. You certainly don't have to use a pasta machine, but it sure makes some rolling a lot easier. And then I have, these are just bamboo skewers that I get at my local grocery store. Comes in a pack of 50 or so. Use them for shish kebabs. But we're going to use them for our pleating today. I also have a pair of scissors and a spatula, and then I have these 2 things here. These are pearl molds. They're 3-dimensional pearl molds. Now you don't have to get the complete round ones. You certainly don't have to use these. If you have any kind of a flat pearl mold, you can use that instead and use it on the cake because you're really not going to see. You're not going to need the pearls all the way around. They're going to be on a border. So we're going to use those, and I'll show you how to use these. And then the other thing you're going to need is some paper because I'm going to show you how to make some patterns to go around our cakes. Okay, I think that's it. And then I got a little bit of tape here, so we're going to use that to tape our pattern together. Okay, so let's get started.